each year they worked for me, we sat down and said, what are our expectations? What are our goals? And we're very, very thoughtful and mindful and spend a lot of time on what the goals should be. And we set that up this year and we didn't meet them. And so that's what happened this year.
That was Wizards and Capitals owner Ted Leonsis yesterday on his reasoning for firing Ernie Grunfeld, who served as the president of basketball operations for the Wizards. The Washington Post reporting Leonsis says he spoke to both John Wall and Bradley Beal yesterday and that, quote, they want to replicate here what we did in the NHL. Of course, the Capitals. Hey, did you guys know this? The Capitals won the Stanley Cup last year.
I was aware of that. I heard that.
We mentioned on the show.
Are they from Washington?
They are from Washington, and look at that cup going down Constitution. Oh, look at
That's
OB.
not going to happen, but
That's very nice. Look, Brian, I could first of all I could look at these highlights all day.
I bet you could.
Before I have to get back to the other team from my hometown. You and I both like Ernie personally.
Wonderful man.
Nobody wants anybody to lose a job. It stinks. It's bad for everyone's family. No one's going to celebrate that. But the record is the record. And his record is littered with so many bad decisions, bad contracts, mistakes that were made, trying to fix mistakes that were already made. I can't imagine. It's like a landfill in there with all of the litter there. So, it's a wonder he made it 16 years. And two, on the other hand, I guess the bar is low, right, for improvement? I mean, how desirable is the Wizards' top front office job right now, T-Mac? You've got John Wall tied up on the books for a long time. You get some insurance money with him next season.
That's if he misses
the full season.
The full season.
Yeah.
This is a mess. I mean, you got a lot of bad contracts over there. The only thing you really have good going for yourselves is Bradley Beal, and I feel for Bradley Beal because he's come into his own. And he might be an all-NBA player this year, and he also can sign, 5 for $190? So that's going to be another deal that's going to be maxed out along with John Wall. Whoever takes over this job really has to come in and just do a lot of cleaning up because it is a mess.
So this job is incredibly in demand. People want this job bad. First off, it hasn't been open in a long time. It's a desirable place to live, and in talking to executives around the league, the opinion of Ted Leonsis, his owner, is very high.
Ted is fantastic. I think that executives around the league like Ted, not because he's a terrific guy, which he is, but because he doesn't fire people very much.
That's right. That's part of it. That's part of it.
So that's it. They're
No
like,
doubt.
Ted's wonderful because he doesn't fire people. You look at both of his organizations.
There's absolute truth to that. But I also think they see a guy who is a curious guy who's willing to invest in new technology.
I love Ted. He's smart. He's funny. He cares about his teams. I just think that maybe
there are
there's
owners
a separate
out there.
interest.
Let's put it this way. There are owners out there that people want to work for, and owners out there people don't want to work for. Ted is in the first category, and that is going to help them recruit for this job. The John Wall situation is problematic without question, but in talking to people yesterday and even today, I sense huge interest and huge demand for this job. They are going to be able to hire probably a guy who's got experience if they want to go that route.
Well, let that begs the question, Brian. If you had to pick between being the executive producer, the showrunner of Wall and Order DC, or at the helm in the director's chair for the Sons of Anarchy, which would you pick? Because both of these GM jobs are going to be open, or are open.
With the exception of Donald Sterling, Robert Sarver has the lowest approval rate of any owner since I've been involved in the NBA. Even though it is a great state with a favorable tax structure where people want to live.
Young stars.
Nobody wants to work for Robert Sarver.
Wow.
His reputation compared to, this is remarkable to compare these two. Ted's reputation is sky high, Robert's is at the bottom. And you would look at these two jobs and say, man, the Suns have good young players, Booker and Ayton. You look at they're going to get another top pick. They could win the lottery and get Zion Williamson. And yet, the Suns are going to have a problem hiring someone who's really qualified because of the ownership.
Which job would you want?
Well, I would take the Suns job.
Okay.
And it's strictly because of the personnel that they already have, the young guns, the Devin Booker, the Deandre Ayton, having the opportunity to land somebody like Zion Williams in the lottery this year. Just strictly off of what they already have set on their roster. I would take the Phoenix Suns job.
I mean, look, I think that if you go in and interview for that Phoenix Suns job, you kind of have to say to Robert Sarver, I will take it if we have a deal.
Yeah.
that you don't meddle with what I'm doing. Give me X number of years, however long the contract is. And basically, it's what Phil Jackson said to James Dolan. Now, obviously, that didn't end well, but it didn't end well not because of James Dolan. That was Phil Jackson sort of got himself into his own trouble. If you were the next GM of the Suns, that's the deal I would want to make. And then, yes, I think that's the job that you'd maybe want to fall into.
Good luck making that deal.
But, yeah, I know. And just because the owner says one thing when he hires you doesn't mean it's still his team.